Okay, good morning. As I promised you a picture with me in a cowboy hat. So that promise has been delivered. And as always, there's supposed to be a Wi-Fi move somewhere in the picture here. I also have that one as well. And since this presentation is about security, I want to put emphasis on the fact that I'm not yet a CWSP, but I'm hoping to get there soon. Talking about Eduroam, just a show of hands, how many know about Eduroam? Heard of it, smelled it, tasted it, tried it? Okay. For some odd reason, this picture has been stuck on the project since 2003, I think. So it's kind of mandatory that you should have this picture. The concept of Eduroam is the fact that you're visiting another university or someone providing the Eduroam service, and since you have a username which includes a realm, which basically looks like an email address, the radius packets are able to find their way back through a radius federation all the way back to the home institution and authenticate you, so you don't need to go and get yourself some guest accounts or stuff like that. And it's been operational for a while now, and it's safe, and it's been working quite good. In the early ages of Eduroam, it was a bit of a hassle. Encryption standards and MTUs with the radius packets was a bit of a hassle, but I think we ironed out pretty much all of the problems. But not necessarily all. In order to be really safe, because the majority of people that are using Eduroam are using password-based authentication with typically PEEP is the protected EEP is the most common one. In the old days, people thought they had to use EEP GTLS because that was how we started it initially. But that's not a requirement. I would say there are actually other EEP types you can use, but I didn't put all down that you can use EEP fast, but pretty much no one is doing that. There are some other more esoteric ones you can use as well. So what's the problem then? The problem we're facing is if you're, for instance, using the same password as you have typically in your Active Directory, we have a single sign-on system. You really don't want this password to get loose to a hacker and go out in the wild. So in order to make it safe, you really need to be sure that the TLS tunnel you're setting up and sending this password via should be really safe and the correct one. So the name of the game here is to correctly verify the server certificate. And how do you do that? Well, on some of the clients, typically on Windows devices, and you can do it on Apple devices, sure. You are able to verify the whole chain. On some devices, you can't really do it properly, and that's the reason why we are within the community, at least I am, strongly advocating the use of private CAs. But that opens another can of worms. We need to be able to provide that trust point. Or as we're doing back home, which we've been doing for like 10 years now, we're using EEP TLS, but that opened another problem. How do you provide the client certificate in a painless way? Right now we have a portal, you authenticate, and then you're able to download your PKCS12 container, which everybody knows, right? With the password. And that's a bit of a hassle. You need to have a more painless process for that. So what we need is some sort of client device onboarding. And everyone who's using Eduroam, most of them at least, are familiar with CAT. The CAT is out of the box. the client assistant tool. It's been available for, I'm not sure how long, but at least 4 or 5 years now. And it does a good job. You're able as an administrator to log in, generate your profiles, have them available either on this web page for your users, or you can download the profiles and have them locally, because sometimes users are a bit hesitant to go on foreign pages and web pages and install things. So it's a nice tool. A lot of effort being put into it. A lot of different languages. Fortunately, I haven't done the full Swedish translation yet, but most of the Swedes do kind of understand English anyway. So the only thing remaining right now, we're having a meeting in Trondheim, roughly a month from now. Well, more than a month, actually, kind of 2 months from now. We're trying to see if we can address this to include some sort of client certificate provisioning via this system. Or if you don't want to wait, you want to have a professional tool, you have a lot of money you want to spend, you can go with what I call the gold standard. In my view, the Express Connect, which was a company residing just outside of Denver, called CloudPath, which was bought by Rutgers, which was bought by Brocade. So, and well, actually, ClearPath as well was once a Megapod, which was then bought by Aruba, which was bought by HPE. So the story goes. But these are the 4 I know at the top of my head, but there are definitely more tools like that. And well, what are your needs? What are your choices? I mean, if you're outside the academic community, you're currently not able to use the CAT tool. I do think, I didn't provide that in my slide, but the source code for the actual tool is supposed to be open source. We've been struggling with that for a while. So I do think that I'm able to provide you with the link to that one. And coming back to the clients, how do you verify that the clients are actually doing what they're supposed to? So we had a project within the JONT organization. The JONT is the European organization connecting all the academic networks. And it's also shops in France, but not necessarily this time. So what we did was we had a project that was founded by the EU called SENSE, and we put up a lab called EEP Lab. So EEP Lab makes sense. My type of fun. And this one is also currently only available for the academic community. We have had discussions in Prague this year about letting the EEP Lab loose. And the thing is, you have a web tool. You can create your own radio server with your own settings, and you can falsify your certificates, and you can see how the supplicant behaves. So it's kind of nice to see if you can break the security. And well, it's a 10 talk. I can't do the demo here, but if anyone's interested, please contact me. So some links here. I'll be posting the presentation, and I've already given that to Keith, so it will be up on the web eventually. So, okay. You will use 5 gigahertz. So any Hungarian people here? Did I spell it right? So now comes Köszönöm szépen. Good enough. Okay.
You can say it Köszönöm szépen.
Köszönöm. Okay.
Right. Thank you.
Perry Nilsson.